That's going to be 5 in a row for the Chicago National League Ball Club. We continue to drink the Kool-Aid as the Cubs are winners of 5 straight, 4-0 in the second half. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you today as the Cubs win a close one against the Pirates as we record here on a Monday evening for Tuesday's episode. A lot of excitement continues in the air. I love that the Cubs are on a roll right now, and a lot to talk about, Sam.
You know, there's 3 things that immediately come to mind that are really surprising right now. Number 1, Cubs 5 in a row. Number 2, I believe that's now 4 straight episodes we've gotten the intro right. And number 3, after talking about the marquee who's going to be in the booth bingo card, we got a brand new combination on a Monday night at Wrigley. It was Boog Shambi and one of my personal favorites, Ron Coomer. Who knows who it'll be tomorrow? Stay tuned.
Someone has to be keeping track of all these broadcast teams. If not, I'm going to take that up next year.
This is the 27th combination.
Is it really?
No. But we could honestly, we probably.
I believed you.
No, well, I know that's sad. Well, when you count the 3-man booth, the 2-man booth, the 4-man booth, then the guy that fields the ball down the third baseline, what's his name? Damian?
Fabian.
Yeah, Fabian. You know, you never know. Anyway, great win. I got the broom out again. We're going to sweep these guys tomorrow in a 2-game set like I predicted. I got my Kool-Aid out. I got my Cubs hoodie. I got my Cubs hat. But if I'm being honest, Matt, this was not a good ball game tonight. The Cubs made 4 outs on the base paths. Let's go through them real quick.
Yes.
Number 1, beyond inexcusable, Rafael Ortega snaps an 0 for 29 streak to lead off the ball game, and then tries to get a quick jump on JT Brubaker and is picked off of first base. Embarrassing.
He left comically early. I mean, where was he going? I understand he's timing the pitcher's move to home, but it was so bad.
Yeah, I can you hear me okay? Because I lost you a little bit there, but I'm glad you talked for a little while.
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe I just had to close out some of my apps. The second mistake was Wilson Contreras, one of the most reckless base runners I've ever seen, trying to tag up from first on a routine fly ball to right field. He was thrown out. The third mistake, probably the worst one and the least expected, was Nico Hoerner trying to score from home. Nico, once you feel like you didn't have a good jump on that ball, there's no need to make up for it. With 2 outs, maybe, not with 1 out, just stay at third base, let the hitter get the run in, and then Nelson Velasquez thrown out at second base. And then you had Christopher Morel botch a very catchable ball at second base. So it wasn't a well-played game by the boys in blue tonight. But you know what? They've had a lot of times where they found a way to lose those games and they won it. And Matthew, Mateo, Matty Ice.
I knew you were going to use my full name like really soon.
You know who did it again? It was bottom 8, man on second, 2 out. Shocking that they continue to pitch to him in these situations. Nico Hoerner, line drive right center field. That ball's going to get to the wall. Here comes Suzuki. The Cubs lead this ball game 3-2. And then my other favorite Cub gets his first career save. Glad he got the opportunity. Good move by Ross. And just one quick thing on Scott Effross, Matt. One quick thing, and I'll swing it over to you.
Doesn't have to be quick. He's one of my favorite players too.
No, but just one quick thing. It's going to be quick.
Nice hat, by the way.
Normally, right-handed sidearmers struggle against lefties.
Big time.
And he came in the 9th inning of a 1-run game and faced all lefties, and he didn't have his best stuff tonight. He's just been good against both sides. He's given up, I think, 2 homers all year, both to lefties. I think it was Pavin Smith and Victor Caratini that walk-off on July 4th. He's dominant against righties. He competes. He cares. And by the way, Wilson Contreras, how about him throwing down to second after we win the game? Did you catch that after the strikeout? I mean, just calm
I actually
down,
didn't
man.
catch that.
Oh, you didn't catch that? Yeah. So there's a swing and a miss by whoever made the
I was
last
too
out.
busy celebrating.
Yeah, and then Contreras, I don't even know if he thought it was strike 3. He just threw down a second because the runner was going. Everybody was confused for a second. The game's over. You could throw the ball in the camera well. Just calm down back there, man.
He did make a nice play at O'Neal Cruz.
He did make a great play on O'Neal Cruz. And O'Neal Cruz, although to be fair, really was the first baseman's fault. That error was the difference in the ball game. In the 8th inning on that ground ball by Japanese import Seiya Suzuki. You know, I'm tired of people saying that already. We know where he's from.
Right.
Every single road time I'm listening to the road broadcast. Yeah, this guy's from Japan.
Well,
We know
it's July 25th.
everybody knows that he's Japanese. We know, and so is Yoshi Tsutsugo, who's hit 177.
Yeah, the Cubs and Pirates didn't exactly trade jabs tonight, but the Cubs got it done when it mattered most, and that was nice to see.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it was tied for a while, but it never felt like high stakes.
Right.
Agree. They weren't throwing punches. Okay,
Right.
Mike Tyson stayed home tonight.
Yeah.
It was more of like a toy game or something. But Adrian Sampson was outstanding.
Yeah, we got to talk. You know what?
7 innings.
You know what? Adrian Sampson will
Here
probably
we
will not be on this team next year, most likely. And maybe he is. I hope he is. Whatever.
Maybe there's a role for him.
Yeah, maybe there is. I got nothing against the guy. He's been really good since coming here. He's competed. He's fought. And you know what? In some of his starts, he has not gotten much defensive help either. He stays steady out there. He competes. He cares. And, people say, well, they all care. No, they don't. Some of these guys don't care. And he's done a really nice job. And, it's weird. Like when I see him start, I think we have a good chance. I don't know. Really nice win tonight. I mean, like I said, I didn't think they played well. Mychal Givens, another scoreless inning. I mean, his stock is rising really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just make one quick point, Matt, before we head to break? I just want to say this, and I don't want to be negative and damper the night, but I just want to say this important. For those of you, and there's a lot of media members that probably don't listen to the show, but if you do, I'm talking to you. Say, oh, David Ross has done such a great job with this team. They're not talented at all. That's look at this. This Pirates team is now a game better than the Cubs. Look at the difference in talent between those two teams. If you were to combine the Cubs and Pirates and make one team, how many Pirates actually make the team? Brian Reynolds and Brian Hayes? Is that it? Hoerner's playing short, so O'Neal Cruz isn't. If we're just doing it for 1 year, I know Cruz is a higher upside. I'm just talking about right now. Reynolds and Hayes are the only guys that even make the team. Not one starter for the Pirates would make the Cubs. Not one. And the Cubs rotation stinks. Right? And then the only bullpen guy I could probably think of would be David Bednar, maybe Will Crow. I mean, the Cubs have a significantly better team than the Pirates, and they're a game worse.
I would say it's actually pretty striking, especially as you lay it out really well right there.
You look at the lineup today. They got Josh Van Meter leading off. They got Ben Gamble, who's a Cub killer, but not a great player, hitting in the middle.
Hall of Famer against the Cubs.
And you look at the Cubs outside of Ortega, who inexplicably continues to hit leadoff. You have Contreras, Happ, Suzuki, Hoerner, Morel. These guys they all could hit a little bit. It's perplexing that they're a game worse than Pittsburgh. And of course, we've watched the whole season unfold, so we know that a lot of it's bad situational hitting, bad base running, and things like that. But don't sit here and sell me this you know what. That this Cubs team has zero talent and it's David Ross has done a great job. That's blasphemy. They've dramatically underachieved. Are they a 90-win team as we talk about all the time? No. But come on. I mean, this Pirates team, Shelton, that's somebody that's probably done a decent job.
Let's talk to you about Blue Nile. Make your engagement moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com, and Locked On Cubs listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more by using the code Locked On. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever piece of wedding bling. Go to BlueNile.com today and use the code Locked On. Sam continues to have the broom in the background. You can see that on the YouTube version of the show. We're at Locked On Cubs on YouTube. Also, subscribe, comment, and review on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as we continue to build the new Locked On Cubs.
I want to say this before we get into talking about more Cubs. I'd like to thank the YouTube version of this show because it caused me for the first time in my life to make an eye doctor appointment since I was about 9 years old. Because when I look at myself on YouTube, my eyes don't open correctly. I don't use contacts. I don't know if I need something, but something isn't right with my eyes, and I will be seeing an eye doctor before August. Let's talk about that.
I think that's just, I don't think anyone's noticing that, but okay.
Yeah, I've had 3 people DM me and say, "What's wrong with your eyes?"
No, you haven't.
No, not one. What else do you want to talk about? Shave.
Speaking of DMs,
shave already. All right.
We are planning on doing a. This is what happens when we record late night. We are going to do a mailbag part of the show coming up this week. That's going to be for either Thursday or Friday's episode. So get us those questions before like Wednesday night, Wednesday evening.
That's news
the Cubs
to me.
don't play Wednesday. So you got all day to draft the question. You could draft your question during Tuesday's ball game. But we are going to take questions on the show. We're going to read your question on the air. Oh, also, if you leave an Apple review,
all right,
I'm going to read those on the air as well.
All right, let's talk baseball.
Yeah.
What a weird schedule this week. A Tuesday,
it's really strange.
A Tuesday 1:20 game, which is very rare. Usually that's the second game of a series or the first. That's a night game. And then an off day on a Wednesday, which is almost even more rare. And then 4 in San Francisco. And
4 different start times, by the way.
Oh, what's the Thursday start time?
None of them are the same. I believe it's like 9:15 on Thursday.
I'm sure JD and Boog are thrilled that a couple of the games are national, so they don't have to do them. I know they play Sunday on ESPN.
They're on Sunday Night Baseball this week. That's right.
Yeah, right. So you can hear Boog on the radio call for that. What else has stood out to you, Matt? I know we're going to talk about a little bit later on guys that are on this team right now that are in danger of losing some spots to some AAA guys. What else stood out to you from this ball game or anything over the weekend? Is there anything that you'd like to you'd like to highlight?
Well, I know, and the numbers prove it, that Suzuki has been very sharp since his IL stint.
Yeah, he hit the ball well today, even though he was over.
He hit the ball well. There's been a couple slides here and there since he's returned, but that's baseball. I think he's been really sharp. I think his defensively. Are there question marks? I don't know if I would call them question marks.
No,
I do think that
little.
There's things here and there. Today, I thought at the top of the second he could have possibly made a play.
Agree. Tentative.
But a lot of his outs right now are hard outs. He makes good contact. He accepts his walks. I think the power tool is going to emerge.
I'd like to.
He's a player that excites me as a fan. I enjoy watching him at the plate.
I think the next step for him is to figure out a way to be more aggressive. He's selective, and he needs to find that happy medium of being selectively aggressive, because I notice, especially when he goes up against guys with high level stuff like closers and stuff, he takes that first pitch strike right down the middle, and those guys are too good to come back from 0-1 on. And then the other thing I'd like to see is him hit a home run at Wrigley Field. He hasn't done that since the 3rd game of the season. I'd like to have him get some power there, but he showcased some power in the in Milwaukee and in Philly. So yeah, I'd like to see him get up to like 15, 20 home runs. I'd like to get him on a home run binge. But I agree, he's been pretty good since coming back. His at bats look good. He looks, I think with him, that's why it's just so important for him to just be playing, because he's just learning, and he's admitted that he's not a big film guy, so he's just like learning on the fly. And so I really think as long as he stays healthy, he's probably on the really bottom of my list of concerns heading into next year. I think he's going to hit. I just want to see the power. I just want to see him hit some tape measure shots. He's hit some balls well today that died, and somehow Ortega got one out to right field. Do you think Rafael Ortega, before we'll take a breather and then talk about the guys that should play, you don't think Ortega is going to bring back much in a trade? I see these tweets. Oh, his value's gone up. Yeah, for what? A lottery ticket at best. If we get something for Rafael Ortega, it's a good trade.
Yeah, that's probably just a lower level prospect.
If
somebody in the low level of the minors that maybe needs a change of scenery, that the Cubs are out scouting right now. Maybe they're doing some advanced scouting on the Rays or something like that, who need an outfielder.
Or those
it would be a 1-for-1 trade.
Smoked brisket, more of those brisket nachos that we had in the bleachers. Those were really good. Get it, trade him and get a triple, quadruple dose of those.
Oh, those were good.
Yeah, no, those really were good.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that's a plug.
They got some good items at
cost $71.20, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, to take out a part of my Roth IRA.
All right, let's. What
about Wisdom, Sam? I feel like he's really regressed defensively.
Yeah, you texted me today, and I'm quoting. I think he forgot how to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because your idea is something that MLB Trade Rumors picked up on this weekend.
Of course. I've been on fire on this show, by the way, with predictions.
Could they sell high on him?
Yeah, I don't really know if it's high anymore, but
I don't know. I think that's up for debate. But
I'd love to see him traded. I really
don't think third base is his position.
I'd love to see him traded only because, and it's nothing against him. He's done a nice job since he's been here. He's hit a lot of homers.
You want to see Morel at third?
I want to see Morel at third. I think that's the position that makes the most sense. He looks awkward to me at second base. He looks very robotic. I think third base is such a good position for Morel because third base is a tools position. You got to react, and then you got to have a cannon. And he has great reactions, great reflexes, and a cannon. I love to see him play 2 months at third base and evaluate that. And because I do think the Cubs are gonna target a center fielder in free agency. I do think that. I think Brandon Nimmo there's a small chance. Wow. I don't think it's a high chance because they're gonna probably get one of the shortstops. But you could argue with the way Nico Hoerner's playing that Brandon Nimmo and a solid defensive center fielder is actually more of a need right now than a shortstop.
Definitely.
Because I don't, and I'm not trying to disrespect Morel. He's done a nice job out there too, but he's not your opening day center fielder. You need defense. You need run prevention out there. And I'd love to see Morel play third base. I just would. And by the way, Wisdom could DH some. He doesn't have to play every day. I don't understand why Morel hasn't played third at all. Maybe they're just trying to showcase Wisdom as much as he can because that's his preferred position.
There could be many different combinations. So we'll see if that ebbs and flows at all the rest of the way, especially as trade season is in tow. We're going to talk more about these undefeated second half Cubs next. But first, whether you're a casual card collector or looking for exciting alternative investment opportunities, the free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. Download the Sports Card Investor app today, available for free in the Google Play and Apple App stores, or go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked on.
Matt.
Sam.
I'd like to ask you and talk to you about a couple of guys. So in AAA, we got Bryce Ball, we got Matt Mervis really hitting.
Yes.
For sure, one of them's coming up. Maybe both of them end up coming up. Are you a little fatigued of Schwindel and Rivas? I mean, I know Schwindel just got back, and I like Frank Schwindel. I do. He is a liability defensively. And people out there that say, oh, well, first base defense is the least important. That makes no sense to me. The scoops and the dig outs.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I just hear that all the time. Play anybody at first. Doesn't make sense.
No. If you're going to hide somebody, it's usually in left.
Yeah, and then you have Rivas, who's great defensively. But, again, he's a young hitter. He's shown some promise this year. But his skill set of grinding at bats and getting on base, he has to get on base at a high clip and hit for a high average because he has virtually no power. I mean, none, zero. and he strikes out. There's not a lot of everyday players that have no power and strike out a lot. There just aren't. Like I don't actually, like, off the top of my head, I can't really name one.
Doesn't ring a bell.
So he either has to get some power or cut down his strikeouts more. It just seems like he's very tentative up there. There's ways to create good at bats, and I understand what he's trying to do, but it's just overly done. Like today, it's just his at bats just don't make sense. Like sometimes he's really selective, and then sometimes he'll swing at a 2-0 pitch that jams him and make an out. It just doesn't seem like he has a great plan up there. Reminds me of how when David Ross sends runners, he'll send runners with a guy at the plate on a hit and run that has a ton of swing and miss in him, and then on a 3-2 count to Hoerner, he won't send the runner. Just makes zero sense. That's kind of what Rivas's at bats are turning into me. So, do you think that there's a chance that one of those guys either gets sent down or just gets one of them would have to be sent down if Mervis or Ball come up soon?
I think there's a strong chance.
Yeah, which one?
I would say Schwindel more so.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Mervis, who's gonna come up, I think there's a likelihood that he'll.
He's a lefty though.
Make his major league debut. So so then you would have two lefties.
Yeah,
but Rivas is just more the plus guy defensively.
Yeah, and more of a future player.
Maybe. I don't know if they're future pieces, either of them.
Well, yeah, but if you had to pick one, Rivas is.
If I had to pick one, yes.
Rivas is 25. Schwindel's 30.
Schwindel's in a massive cold spell. I mean, massive. Is Rivas much better? No. He showed flashes last year and early this year, but both players offer only a little bit of value. Again, both are likable guys, but you don't see them being pieces on the next good Cubs team. You don't.
And Schwindel's problem is actually the exact opposite of Rivas. He just swings at everything. He's up 2-0 in the count.
He was so much fun last year.
Yeah, no, he was.
He's on fire.
And nobody will take that away from him. It doesn't matter what happens.
Right.
But you're ahead in the count 2-0. You don't have to swing at pitchers' pitches. You have good bat.
You're way ahead in the count, man.
And he has good bat to ball skills, but that doesn't mean you have to just make outs for the pitcher. Schwindel's a talented offensive player. He just, for whatever reason this year, he hasn't been able to come close to put it together. He had that one good stretch after they sent him down or for an hour.
And then he came back. Yeah, but those two guys are great examples of, where the Cubs are in this in-between mode. Those two, Ortega, Sampson, it's about what you do with the opportunity. And we've definitely seen hot and cold spells across the board with that.
I'd like to get you a chain.
Oh, yeah, I have one.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
You ever wear it out? Or?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really nice addition.
Yeah, no, I've been definitely wearing that out.
Oh, yeah, I remember a couple times we went out. You put the chain out.
You want me to wear it for the show?
Yeah, I just think, I think you're a really
Maybe
nice
I'll get a Cubs chain.
7.5, and sometimes you can upgrade. 7.5's a compliment. I don't think I'm just saying chain 8.5. I don't know.
No, I always appreciate your encouragement.
Yeah, no, you're just just trying to help out.
How's the Kool-Aid over there? Okay. All right, winners of 5 straight. It's really been enjoyable to watch.
And how long
the troubles in this game?
And how long do you suspect that this winning streak lasts? Because tomorrow is really a big game, and I'll do my best to watch.
It's a big game.
Well, no, it is. Don't laugh at me for that.
No, I apologize.
Okay, because
tell us why it's a big game.
This stuff matters to me.
I know it does.
First of all, it's gonna be hard. I'll do my best to watch.
That's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really difficult for you to watch that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna find a way to not miss one pitch. And it's a big game because if they win, Matthew, you get Tuesday night, an all-day Wednesday, and all-day Thursday as a honeymoon phase for this club. We could ride a 6-game winning streak for 72 hours. Right? The game.
That's a great point.
The game ends at 4:00.
Probably 4:30.
And the next game doesn't start till 9:00 Thursday evening.
It's going to be a lifetime.
If we win tomorrow, it's gonna feel like we won the World Series for 2 days. And it's gonna be Keegan Thompson versus Bryce Wilson. My guess would be shout out to Bet Online. My guess would be the Cubs are heavy favorites. And the weather here has been horrible. It feels like it's November.
Oh, stop it.
No, early October. Pumpkin picking season. The wind's going to be howling in again. Throw strikes, manufacture a couple, get the ball to Robertson, and let's go to Frisco.
The broom is great in the background. I just can't get over that.
We could have 2 straight sweeps.
That's right. No,
That counts as a sweep
know.
tomorrow. It's a 2-game series. I'm
100%.
And I told you this. I'm tired of Pittsburgh. I want to beat these guys.
I agree. Okay, so Thompson, Wilson, Cubs, Pirates, 1:20 Tuesday. Meet us back here for Wednesday's show. Hopefully, another Cubs sweep. Get us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Locked On Cubs on YouTube as we make the push to 1,000 subscribers. Follow along with us on Twitter at Locked On Cubs. If you're watching the YouTube version of the show, our handles are there as well. That's how you can hit us up for the mailbag later this week. And you could also send us questions via text, 312-834-4634 on the show line there. Thanks for making Locked On. What?
You didn't flash it.
Didn't flash what?
The voicemail line. It's one of my favorite parts.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. No, you don't have to do it now.
There it is. Hey, baby. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Cubs 5 in a row, 4-0 in the second half. For Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.